So starting the test drive in the GV70, the 2.5 turbo is a pretty good engine. And in my opinion, it's enough. Now you do have the option for the 3.3 liter turbo setup. And I mean, that's a lot of power, but honestly, this 2.5 turbo gets the job done for the most part. If you just want to have the quickest GV70, then be my guest, but this pretty much is all you need. Now the ride quality is it's interesting. What I like about this is it feels luxurious like a Genesis, but it also has a sporty side as well. It almost feels like a hybrid, so it's comfortable, but it's not meant to be the luxury pinnacle, if that makes sense. If you want a GV80, then you'll get that, but this drives like the G70 in the sense that it has nice amenities, the ride is good, but it's not meant to ride like butter. It's meant to be sporty. So they did a good job kind of hitting that hybrid there. But in terms of drivability, pretty easy to get used to, as opposed to the G90 I just test drove back to back with this. This feels more like, and I don't mean this in a bad way, but this drives like a Tucson does. Whereas a G90 drives like something, it's really hard to put, like I said, in that review, it drives more like a Mercedes. But I can't even say that because I feel like that's a knock on Genesis, because that's one of the smoothest riding vehicles I've ever been in ever. But let's go ahead and put it into Sport Plus. And we're gonna try these paddle shifters out. Yeah, that boost is, whoo! Again, it drives like the Hyundai variant. The 2.5 turbo engine is just wild. Even with all-wheel drive, this thing just scoots. Yeah, it's just so peppy. But let's go ahead and see if we can try this out. Gotta get out of Sport Plus mode first. So we'll put it into comfort. And then just a quick demonstration. Lane centering, adaptive cruise, pretty nice. A great system, as I've said before, when I've tested it on other Hyundais. And Genesis is no different. But I will say, it's just, Genesis really brought their A game. First of all, branching out from Hyundai altogether, but also just with how they've redesigned the vehicles and come out with new ones. So dropping the GV80, the GV70, and then saying, hey, let's just go straight up with a G90, make ultimate versions and all of that. And then with the e-charge, or whatever they call that, the e-supercharger, that's like the Mac Daddy there. That G90 is just, I'm talking about the G90 more than this car. But anyways, they just did a really good job rebranding themselves. And I have not been in a Genesis vehicle since then that I did not love. And this one is no different. Now, in terms of competition for the GV70, I think maybe the Audi Q5, BMW X4. It's in its own realm, kind of with that SUV crossover. It's in a weird segment, so there are plenty of options. Everyone's tried to go to crossovers and get rid of cars, but to me, really like this option because you get all the safety technology that you would expect from a loaded Hyundai, let alone Genesis, that just takes it up several notches. But just very pleased with how everything's laid out here, how everything looks. Nothing feels cheap in here, even though, like I said, you can get a G90 for twice as much money. They just did a fantastic job with all of these vehicles, and this GV70 is no different. So about a 9, I'd say a 9.7 for me. The ride is sporty, so. But if you want to take a test drive, you be the judge of how you like it. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2023 Genesis GV70.